The myth that Pedro Pascal can be a box office draw or that Marvel, outside of Spider-Man or the Avengers, can still do numbers has been dissolved, destroyed, and disbanded coming out of July, heading into August, because here we are. I'm recording this at the precipice of its third weekend in release, and well, Fantastic Four managed to triumph at 2 consecutive weeks at the box office. The way that things are shaking up, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to make it for that three-peat, because you take a look at these numbers and bro, we don't need to compare this to anything else. They fucking stink, okay? 211, just about two. I'll go ahead and give you a 212. You got 212, which is nice. Even on the domestic side of life, you've already surpassed the total box office haul of the Marvels. Congratulations, you're not a complete and total dumpster fire. But the fact that you're about $40 million off from the international box office, if people want to give shit to Superman for the way that it's performing internationally, you need to take a look at Fantastic Four here and also assess the damage, because what the fuck is going on here? Okay, so a $382 million box office, that's pathetic. Absolutely atrocious. And the way that this thing is falling off, I wouldn't be surprised if we're heading for a single-digit third weekend at the box office. I'm sorry, not single-digit, $1 million, 7-digit weekend. Okay, like let's keep it a buck. It's not going to be that bad. Like, it's not going to make like $8. Okay, it's going to be a little bit better than that, because as it's shaken out right now, like, okay, Disney definitely has the boon of the most theaters and the most screens, but they're going to be falling off a cliff here very shortly, because that Wednesday falling off 55% from a week that was already anemic to begin with. I mean, this is like, it's not good business. And the fact that, yeah, you fell off 63%. Was it? No, sorry, 67%. I was trying to undersell it in your first week. Yeah, kind of lets us know that, okay, yeah, a 7-digit weekend, I'm probably being way, way, way too optimistic. But there's a chance. There's a real chance. I still think you're looking at the mid to high teens when everything's all said and done, 17, 18, 19 million dollar weekend. Because for as much as Bob Iger earlier this week with the investors call, well, he would tout the success of Lilo and Stitch, and oh boy, we really did get great reviews from the critics for Fantastic Four, but oh yeah, no, Lilo and Stitch was great. Thunderbolts, what's that? I've only heard about the new Avengers and Captain Black. Oh, why are we talking about shit that came out in February? But Lilo and Stitch, guys, it was just tremendous how well that one performed. So yeah, writing off what is coming out of Marvel for the rest of the year, it's probably fairly bright, because again, what are we, like a week removed from Eyes of Wakanda, the what, 6th Wakanda related product to come out of Disney? Just, God, stop sucking that fucking BBC. You guys are pathetic. First movie made a lot of money because you released it during Black History Month, and you said that you'd solve racism if you bought a fucking ticket. But outside of that, the rest of that shit sucks dick through a straw. And then to have eyes forward to Wonder Man coming out in December, it's like, you guys are really going to have to ruminate on this absolute failure for the Fantastic Four a little while longer, because yeah, it's a little premature to call game on this, but it's going to struggle to get to 500 million, struggle to get to 550. And even if you wanted to go with those erroneous budget numbers of $200 million and $125 million marketing, yeah, it's not breaking even. It's not making its money. That makes it not 1, not 2, but 3 Marvel movies that come out in this calendar year to all flop and fail to make any dollars. Eyes forward to Spider-Man. Well, can't really do that because Sony's going to end up making the profits. But eyes forward to Doomsday, which even if it makes $1 billion, I don't know, is it going to turn a profit? But time will tell on that one. But we already have the die cast on Pedro Pascal. And well, not unlike Marvel, this was his third movie to come out this year. And Eddington, yeah, anybody remember that one? It actually flopped for A24, like a historic studio, or I'm sorry, it's not a historic studio, it's only been around for a little while, but a studio historically cheap when it comes to budgets, and it still failed to make back its budget. And then also The Materialists, right? Hey, another Chris Evans film that flopped. Wow, that guy's not a movie star, he's Captain America, definitely. Even Bob Iger, Kevin Feige agrees that, yeah, he's Captain America. And the reason that box office were soft on Black New World was, yeah, we didn't have Chris Evans. Wow, yeah, you release a Captain America movie and you don't have Captain America, and you wonder why people don't turn out. Fucking funny thing about that. But yeah, you had him, you had Dakota Johnson, you had the Webster herself, and you also had Pedro Pascal, and that was also a flop. And then Floptastic 4. I mean, you can go ahead and tout that, yeah, so far during its run, it has yet to be supplanted. It is still the #1 movie at the box office. But you take a look at the weekend and you realize that, oh, Disney's putting out a new movie. It's going to need some screens. So yeah, it's going to bite into Fantastic Four. And Weapons, well, Weapons is coming out of Warner Brothers. So yeah, Superman's going to end up losing some screens there. But yeah, those are the two that are going to be fighting for the top of the charts, which kind of lets you know that, holy fuck, Hollywood is screwed heading into the latter half of the year, because if you have a rated R horror film battling it out with a sequel to a remake from about 20 years ago, holy shit, you're in super tough. But shout out to Lindsay Lohan, okay? Probably one of the best looking recovering addicts we've seen in a while. But anyways, Fantastic Four First Steps should have dominated at the box office through the dog days of summer. Oh, fuck, that's the opening salvo from Variety? That's harsh, man. Instead, ticket sales are falling fast, and the superhero adventure will be unseated for the top spot at the North American charts by either Disney's comedy sequel, Freakier Friday, or Zach Cregger's unsettling thriller, Weapons, which, honestly, it looked like those trailers, man. Okay, it's very much not dissimilar to that of 28 years later. I just hope that the actual product is a lot better than the lingering image of the Jimmy Savile gang that 28 years later provided. God damn it, that shit was so dumb. Now it's in its third weekend of release. Fantastic Four First Steps is aiming for an $18 to $20 million third weekend. Fuck. As long as the film holds similarly to Marvel Peers, Black New World, and Thor Love and Thunder. Not exactly great company. It's like a mid-row seating on the short bus. Fucking not something you aim for. Each of which dropped 50% in their third outings. So far, First Steps has generated $200 million domestically, $370 worldwide. It'll soon outpace the Thunderbolts, I guess, and Captain Black Falcon, $415, yes, to become Marvel Studios' biggest 2025 release, but fail in comparison to literally everything else. Anywho, Freakier Friday is projected to open to $27 to $30 million. Interesting, as yes, a Weapons is also targeting a $25 to $30 million opening. That is absolutely wild. Not for Freakier Friday. I mean, like, that kind of ends up making sense, and I really hope, and I wouldn't anticipate like that budget would get too far out of control. Like, I mean, like, how much is Jamie Lee Curtis or Lindsay Lohan commanding salary-wise anymore? Like, you offer Lindsay a half-empty pill bottle, or Jamie Lee Curtis an opportunity to yell at the Orange Man, they'll probably do it for a song and a prayer. But Weapons, I mean, shout out Mahler. He's been really pushing the trailers for this thing, and yeah, it's suitably creepy, and it actually has like a pretty good cast attached to it. It's funny because for as much as Pedro's fallen off in the third week for the Fantastic Four, Julia Garner, the female Silver Surfer, like, she's being positioned, especially the way that the trailers depict it, is she's supposed to be the quote-unquote antagonist in this. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to play out. Not even entirely sure what the movie, like, outside of its, okay, cool, an entire grade school class just goes away, and Julia Garner, she's supposed to be the teacher of said class, so everybody thinks that she's a witch or something like that. But yeah, she's going to be in there, so regardless of how things end up, she's probably going to end up in the number 2 and the number 3 spots on the weekend. So I guess good for her. Like, she's a nominal talent that Hollywood is really trying to push at this point in time. Donnie Yen, old Wong over there, like, he's also in it, and he's had some very unsettling scenes in some of those trailers. But then, of course, you have Josh Brolin as the protagonistic force, I guess, the way that it's again, like, this movie, it's very intriguing from its trailers, and everything that I see does get me interested. Not enough where I'd go check it out. Like, horror films really aren't my things, and especially this mystery box shit. Like, I kind of want to know it's good before I devote any kind of time to it. But with that said, it could have had something vastly different about it that could have thrown more people off of it. A little fact or a little casting news that might have disqualified it from unseating Fantastic Four that also has something to do with Fantastic Four. Follow me on this one, okay? Because Weapons was supposed to be fronted by Pedro Pascal. Oh, Christ on a fucking bike. Pedro Pascal, through production of Weapons into turmoil, says the director, I had to recast the entire movie. So Pedro Pascal, if you've watched any of the trailers, and because it's Warner Brothers and they'd fucking hit you even for just showing a single still of the trailers, I can't show you specifically, but Josh Brolin's role, you know, the hero in all this, one of the affected fathers of a missing kid, yeah, it was supposed to be portrayed by Pedro Pascal. Now, I know a lot of people will suck off Pedro Pascal for his acting talent, and yes, he's fine, okay? I'm not going to say he's great. I'm definitely not going to say he's bad, but he's fine. Josh Brolin, on the other hand, like, he's a strict upgrade in every single sense. And so this very much is addition by subtraction. Let's take a look. Director Zach Cregger, known for his breakout horror hit Barbarian, sure, I'll take your word for it, recently revealed that his upcoming movie Weapons underwent a complete overhaul in casting due to issues stemming from Pedro Pascal in the aftermath of the 2023 Hollywood strikes. The film, which centers on a chilling mystery in a small Pennsylvania town where 17 children mysteriously vanished from an elementary school, was originally set to feature a star-studded lineup including Pascal in yet another Hollywood leading role. Well, depending on when this released, it might have been his first leading role, because let's not get it twisted, and this is something that I've liked to dispel for quite a while, like the whole idea of Pedro Pascal fatigue. It's a little bit overblown because he's a character actor, and most of his quote-unquote starring roles have been in TV series, and anytime that he's been in a movie, it's been in a bit part in the background or part of a greater ensemble, like Materialist. Fantastic Four was the first time that you could say he was the lead. But if you watched Fantastic Four, you would realize that, yeah, it was Sue Storm and then Johnny the Human Torch right behind that, and then probably Reed. But anyways, oh wow, the first picture of Pedro actually touching Bella. Doesn't he look so comfortable? It almost looks like, yeah, that's the type of anxiety relief that he needs from his co-stars. Just the exact same picture you would see with him groping up Vanessa Kirby. Cregger opened up about the production challenges in a candid interview, explaining how the strikes created a ripple effect that ultimately led to Pascal's departure. I had a whole different cast for this movie, and then we had the strike, and then Pedro Pascal's schedule threw us into turmoil. Had to recast the entire movie. Why did his schedule throw things into turmoil? Because he was filming Fantastic Four. Oh, so Weapons gets to benefit again from a Marvel flop. Interesting. He emphasized that such setbacks are part of the industry's nature, adding, "This is what happens, right? The strikes delayed us, and then when you delay, people's schedules get conflicts, and then you're back to square one. I bear no ill will towards anybody. We just keep getting delayed and delayed. It's like a domino effect, so I had to start over again." It's interesting though, because yeah, Pedro Pascal would end up having a schedule conflict, but Julia Garner didn't, huh? And she was the one that extensively had to come back for reshoots, huh? So Pedro Pascal has become one of Hollywood's most in-demand actors, and initially slated to portray a distraught father searching for his missing child. His exit was prompted, yes, by a packed 2025 slate, which includes roles for A24's romantic drama Materialist alongside Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans. Indie Western Eddington, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe debut as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. Had he stayed on board, Weapons would have marked his fourth major release in about 4 weeks' time in the summer of 2025 alone, highlighting what some industry observers attribute to overexposure or overcasting. Yeah. And even though nobody's seen Eddington, nobody's seen Materialists, you at least seen the marketing, even if you didn't see the Fantastic Four itself in theaters. But yeah, tack on at the end of last year with Gladiator. And if you watched some of The Last of Us, well, actually that might have raised your opinion of him, because nobody had anything nice to say about him in Gladiator 2. But it's going to be interesting, right? Because for as much as he has been all over the first half of 2025, don't know what the rest of his year is going to look like. And the next time we're going to see him isn't until the tail end of 2026 with Avengers Doomsday, as Reed Richards is going to have a significant role in Doomsday. Well, I mean, Dr. Doom is kind of the arch nemesis and has a little bit of a history with Reed Richards. I mean, like, it kind of makes sense. But the lasting image of Pedro Pascal in 2025 is going to be that as the face of a box office bomb with the Fantastic Four. So yeah, Weapons, I hope it's good. Hope people enjoy it. Hopefully it takes the #1 spot. Frankly, I don't care. The rest of the year looks absolute shit at the theater outside of Mortal Kombat 1. Please don't suck. But yeah, if there's a good film that comes out, that's fantastic, because the slop that it was rewarded in July, well, it wasn't quite rewarded rather with a full trough full. Just enough to satisfy some hunger, but mostly leave people wanting more, but less Pedro. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.